How many of you feel rich? You're not lying? Good. How many of you are feeling happy? Few of you. Good. How many of you are feeling rich and happy? The number of hands seems to be dropping. Correct. I have a dream world, a dream society, a society where it's a prosperous, caring and equitable society free of deprivation and strife. How many of you want it? How many of you want to join this dream? Many? Beautiful. But to reach that society, you have a great number of challenges. You know, the globe has always been looking at challenges, and the challenges are, though numerous, are still finite. So if I look at the challenges this world has, on one side you have poverty. The whole world is talking about poverty, the whole is talking about illiteracy. We talk about affordable housing. I'm talking to engineers, so definitely we'll be interested in all this housing, electricity, water, sanitation, because that's where your money comes from. Chronic diseases. There are a lot of things that you can do, because technology has virtually just interspersed in the entire medical science. Malnutrition and a big issue about carbon print, climate change. I'm sure the greatest challenge has always been to looking at cost-effective and relevant technology for us. Inequity, lack of convergence. If two of us join, there will be 3 ideas and the 4th minute we split it. Correct? Conflicts, terrorism, insecurity, gender insensitivity. I'm sure many of you here are very concerned about it. So is the world. I'm sure many of you agree with me in terms of poor ethics in the market, and many of us are distressed by ethics and inappropriate decision making. While the technology part is much more easier to solve, the central part seems to be much more challenging for us. It seems to be insurmountable in many contexts. Well, we've all been taught all our journey that education is one which is going to change the entire face of things, because education is the panacea for all ills that you talk about. So I thought maybe that's the best way to move forward. Let's look at what education is all about. So if you're looking at education, I would say that it's literacy. And see the literacy curve in this country. You see, the poorest 20%, and it's as recent as 2017 January, this report was released by the World Bank. Poorest 20% in India are approximately 25 years behind the wealthiest 20%. This is the nation we all live in. So has literacy started contributing something? Not stopped here. If you look at the whole, 22% of our families actually walk more than 500 meters to fetch a pail of water. 25% of the households do not even have access to water. And 85% of the source of water for rural areas in this country is only one single source called the borewell, which is also not recharging. So what is technology doing? What is engineering doing? Or what is human souls doing? You have 30%, nearly 30 crore Indians do not have access to electricity, and I don't want to comment about all those people who have electricity, how reliable it is and how consistent it is. The disparities are no less, the inequality. 1% of the richest India holds 58% of the wealth of this nation. On the contrary, the recent Oxfam report added one more dimension to it. 57 billionaires of this country own 70% of the wealth of this nation. So this is the disparity that we are all working with. So what is literacy doing to us, and how are we changing our lives? We all have made our career choices. I would have been sitting amongst you because I had a dream to be an engineer. Destiny made me a doctor. Well, I am a doctor here. A lot of you are budding engineers. We have chartered accountants who spoke. The first person who spoke was a chartered accountant. Lawyers in plenty. Researchers in this one. And we all call ourselves professionals. And what is a professional really? It means doing what it makes others think of you as reliable, respectful and competent. Are we that professional? See the challenge. This is a live photograph from the area where I come from. An elephant, people walking up, collecting water and the transport. What harmony that people live in. It is not that we are trying to aggrandize the same situation, but the harmony is what we probably will have to take up. I was fresh from the college, came from a very prestigious institution which was also quoted in the Mayo Clinic, Mysore Medical College. And then definitely college made me competent. It also given me a lot of confidence. So I got into the vehicle, expecting people to be queuing up, waiting for me to receive me when I go there. I went to a remotest tribal colony. I go there, I see none. Nobody around. You know, with all my aspirations, ambitions, expectations, where do I stand? You see, the vehicle is around, none coming into. What do? I ask my driver, honk. Best way to think, so that at least people will actually start coming in. Nobody. None came. I had to swallow my pride. Got down from the vehicle. Started walking up to the line of huts that were there. As I embulated closer, I saw the first house. It was latched, not locked, but none inside. Second, none. Third, none. How do I go move on? Fortune bestowed on me, the fifth one was partially open. And when the fifth partially open, I just pushed the door a little bit further, cried out aloud. Is there anybody inside? A frail woman called out from inside. Oh, I got very excited. Now I have an opportunity to go back and boast with my colleague saying that I've seen so many patients, I've served so many people. Okay. I get inside, I see her in distress. The competency that I had enabled me to examine her, treat her, and during the course of the treatment, I ask her the question, saying that where are the others? She says they've all gone to fetch the next meal. I said, does it mean that all of them were healthy? She said, meal takes priority over ill health. When we can bear the pain and suffering, we still embark on the journey to fetch our meal. I too would have gone, but ashamed. In fact, all my achievements appeared trivial and inconsequential at that point of time. Well, this is not the end of the road. Then we went and started, now we have got Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. So all of us are having walked on a journey of building toilets, creating drinking water, this were taps. Everywhere we're doing it. We did it in 91 also. We went, the best of the technologies, the civil engineers helped us. We built beautiful toilets in the schools. None got used. Planks were placed. Sports materials were loaded into the toilets in the classrooms, and goats and sheep were kept inside the household latrines. We decided to change our approach. We immediately decided, saying that we will start talking about what we learned. How the feces that we defecate ultimately through our own hands gets back into our own gut, and then the fecal cycle ensures that we have enough diarrhea, dysentery and other issues. And we also know 70% of the diseases that we all suffer is because of waterborne diseases. started educating them, giving them more and more information, building that awareness amongst them, and finally with their physical and financial participation, jointly we actually built a toilet. The donor came in. We want to evaluate because we had taken 1 year to build 100 toilets. I think if you look at it, it's not an engineering marvel, it's a disaster. But if you look at the social engineering, you know what happened? The donor came in, we went to the house. And when we went to that house, believe it or not, the toilet was kept locked. So we actually had to go, like we went to this one, the donor asked, what do we do? I said, let's go and talk to the inmate. So went to the inmate, she came out, I asked her, how come you kept your toilet under lock and key? Inadvertently, spontaneously she replied, oh, do you expect me to be sitting all the time there? We couldn't control our laughter too, but we were actually distressed. I don't know what was it. I said, please open the window. I asked her, is anybody using these toilets? She said, all of us use, except my grand old lady at home. I said, fair, please open it, let me see. So both of us, the donor, the representative and myself went, opened the toilet, got inside, and then we realized what? It was actually being put into use and it was kept very clean. Very heartening to see that. The donor was still perplexed why they ever kept it locked and key. So he asked me saying that, ask her. I said, you only ask. So the donor actually asked the lady saying that, why have you kept it under lock and key? She said, stray dogs and cattle spoil my toilet. That's the reason I kept it locked. Because we go out to fetch our meal and it should not be misused. That's the level of ownership that can come when we work with the people and not for the people. So what has education actually given me? In fact, I was reminded with Swami Vivekananda's famous quote, bring light to the ignorant, bring more light to the educated. For the vanities of the education of our time are tremendous. Okay. Do you agree with this? If that was true in the 19th century, you can understand what the 21st century talks about. So what is the education actually giving me all the time? Qualification, skills, knowledge. Fantastic. In addition to that, I got 6 P's. What am I looking for? Pride. I'm qualified. I'm PhD. Then position. I got selected for this. I got selected for that. Then pay, because that's what we're ambitious about. Then of course, you all start counting our perks, privileges, and also promotional opportunities, because that's all career is all about. But where are the people, the 4th P? So the entire journey of our career definition has been limited to these 6 P's, and that's what we are into. I thought, if that is true, maybe the 21st century has actually changed. So I was looking at what the US-based Partnership for 21st Century Skills released recently talking about. They said there are only 4 skills that are required, and those 4 skills that are required in the 21st century are all 4 C's, which is communication, collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking. Where are the people? No community. So, we talk about a model village. What is a model village? Beautiful Vidhan Sauda or a Gram Panchayat. A beautiful school, a well-kept hospital. Then you talk about a fair price shop. Then you have a good bus stand, etc. And we talk about toilets too. All are beautiful infrastructures. But have you ever talked about what are the defining outcomes of a model village? The model village, do we understand that the model village has to be all people using the toilet? All children going to school and Anganwadis? All decisions being taken transparently and with a later amount of accountability? All of us work with collaboration and cooperation all the time, and we have trust as the universal currency of the village. Does it happen? People build people. People build infrastructure. So what we are talking today is not just about being a qualified person. We are talking about building ourselves to be a human capital. And the human capital means what? It is about ensuring both richness within and richness without. We look at this. I thought, if all of us are educated in this framework, how come they are actually doling out Nobel Prizes one after the other? And we already have for the last nearly 115 years, so the score 117 years, it would be much more. 23 organizations, 870 individuals, out of them only 48 were women. So we would look at how the Nobel Prizes have been awarded. I was really comfortable and happy to understand winners who were selected were typically those who were not only immersed in their field and passionate about it, but they were making a difference in the world. And they actually were creating solutions to the world's problems at a people-centric level. They were transforming people. So Nobel Prizes are also awarded not for the qualifications that we earn or the knowledge that we amass or the skills we boast of, but more importantly, how we have affected people's lives. So if that is true, then what could be the mission? Richer, stronger, and joyful. So the dawn of a new polis. The polis is, as per the Greek philosophy or the Greek meaning, is city. So we all are interested in building cities, am I right? So this city could be built in a different polis. And this polis, the new definition for the way we're going to acquire knowledge would be people orientation with love and building our knowledge with our intellect and acquiring the skills for our hand, which only realizes not only economic value but also moral value. It not only enriches our external productivity but also enriches our inner feelings. So we want external productivity with inner enrichment. So we want a career where there is people at the center of our learning and action. We want prosperity, which actually makes us rich in the environment that we are going to live. At the same time, richness within where we are going to enjoy ourselves too. Do you agree with me on this? Would that be leading on to a caring and equitable society which is also prosperous without deprivation and strife? If that is true, let's all join together in this very wonderful journey. Thank you very much.